Hello survivors, hi family and friends, this is Roy from Bootsy's Sweetheart's Guide to Life and Other Disappointing Experiences, asking you, do you have, like I do, and all crafters do, loose ends of yarn? Do you have bags of these lying about? Well, you know from past videos that I make chains, and I keep crochet chains for other projects. Well, today, a simple project that's going to use up some of your little scraps of yarn and end pieces. We're going to make a medallion, but I have a little twist on it, and I hope you stay with me, see what I do with crochet chain medallions. We will have leftover pieces of fabric and yarn and string. And, as I've shown you in one of my past videos, when I have a small ball of yarn, I just make a chain out of it. You know, if ever I want to undo it, I can, but a lot of the leftover yarn pieces are too small to make even a nice crocheted circle piece out of it. So it keeps me busy, and this is a little easier to organize. So I decided variety is the spice of life. So let me make a circular thing out of a medallion kind of thing out of just a chain. A lot of new crocheters talk about having difficulty getting all the chains the exact same size, tension and everything. This is a great project to do that. And there are so many uses. I have a video on dangles, and I have a video on making bookmarks just with chain. And I have some more projects on the drawing board. So what I did to start out with was to find one of my chains, to cut out a small foundation piece. And you'll see I tried this, I have a whole bunch over here, I'll show you. I tried this on paper as well and on fabric, and to me it works beautifully no matter what. And you find a circle or draw your own freehand. I don't draw circles well, better than I used to, and I draw this is a piece of felt. I draw the circle. This I have had since high school. Amazing. That's about one of the only things people things and anything else that I've had since high school. And for this one, I'm going to use a glue stick because I'm going to sew across it, and I'll show you. I have one here. I'm actually going to sew across the circle to make it look like it has some sort of spines or decoration. So this one I'm going to glue with just a glue stick because it's sort of like a basting in a way. And I pull this out. This is a piece of cork. Excuse me. This is a piece of cork that I covered with a piece of felt. It works for a lot of things because you can put pins in it. And I put a piece of, this is what's the peel off of a heat and bond, but you can use wax paper or, oh, look at my hair again. You can use wax paper or parchment paper, anything where the glue, if it goes through, if you're using a wetter glue, it won't penetrate the felt. So I'm just going to start from the outside, and no need to be super neat on this one because I'm going to sew. and I start to spiral the chain, the crochet chain, and I start from the outside, and it helps me, let me put this here, it helps me to pin, and I'm just on the edge because I want to hide the, I should have started from the other, well, they both have orange, that was a bad choice of color, but I'll start from the outside and I pin it. And then, oops, see, now this is spinning, that's why the pins are important. I'm going to put a pin here to hold the felt down, and then just go around. No, it's not very difficult. And I put pins, by the way, it's very forgiving, you can adjust it a little bit here and there. I put pins where I need to keep it anchored. Goes right into the cork. And eventually it develops its own borders and will hold itself tightly. Now I'm going to have to apply more glue. There is, as you know with crochet, there's like two sides to it. This particular one, I have the V side facing up so that it lays a little flat. It has a flat top to it. And when you're done with these, you can, if you want to reduce the texture, if you want to reduce the dimension a little, all you have to do is hit it, especially if it's acrylic, not too hot of an iron, but hit it with an acrylic, with an iron, and you can flatten it out, and it's perfect for inside pages of dimensional journals. And there, and what did I do with the glue, with the paste, with the Elmer's? Anyway, I'm going around, again, keeping it flat, like that. And when I get to the middle, leave myself just a little extra, and I cut it. Now hopefully I got the right end of the chain. If I didn't, I just got to make sure I get a knot. This is the right end, so it's forming a knot. And I have to get more glue for the center. Here I have some tack. Oh, here's the glue. I see. So I'm going to glue the center down a little bit more. Oop. Okay. And then we'll pin it. There. And basically it's done. Now what I will do is trim this little extra off when the glue dries. And then again I may have to knot the end. But so this is kind of pretty because it's, first of all, it's rainbow color, so it's pretty as it is. And then it has a nice bright yellow center that happened to work out that way. Let me cut this. Now that I know it's the right end where it's going to knot and not pull out, I can cut that off. And then there. This I'll tuck under when I'm sewing it, this end, and you won't see this end at all because I'll tuck it under the first round and tack it down with thread, and you won't see it. So I have a pretty medallion which can be used so many different ways. Page decorations. I have a project in the next video where I use these on a tote that I'm going to make. I think it is a tote. So you let that dry, and here's what you wind up with. And by the way, this goes back in my scrap drawer. So when I make these, here I'm not done with one. I just keep them going. This is an old project that I saw many, many years ago. And it's coasters for the coffee table or the side table. This is on cork. So that instead of fabric on the background, I had that on cork. This one, you can't see the back because I used red thread. This one was done on the sewing machine, and I just ran some stitches around the edge and a center to make it look like the center of a flower. Here's one I did on paper on the sewing machine. Just did radius, diameter stitching. And this is very flat. I hit it with, I don't know if you can see how thin it is, which is good for that. All these are with yarn. Here's one I used floss, embroidery floss, and I'll finish that up. Here's one that I hand sew. Hand sewing is, for me, I've said it before, a lot of fun. So I don't look at hand sewing as a chore. I look at it as a really wonderful activity. It's so peaceful. It's just, to me, a wonderful activity. And I bring, here this one I brought the tail through, just tied it a little more. And again, this is flat. I must have hit it with the iron. Here's another one that I hand sewed, and the needle's still in it. And what you do then next is you trim the threads. You think the scissor is overkill. Do I have a smaller one? Yes, I do. I have my smaller scissor. And you fold it back just a teeny bit so you can get under the felt so you don't see the felt or the paper, whatever backing you're using, whatever foundation you're using. And cut away. These are great scissors because they have one side. Let me show you when I'm done here. They have one side that's rounded. Let's see if you can see this. And one side that's pointy. And it's good. It protects the work when you're done. Here's the one that I just did. This one. And this is done. And you can use it for patchwork on a jeans. Put a couple on a headband to make flowers with. I just made so many of them. Then I used fabric backing, which I liked a lot. It's very flexible. This one was glued with fabric tack. This one was hand sewn. No one's going to see the back, so no matter what skill you have, and as you can see, mine is lacking in finesse. Got that. This one you can see is tacky glue. I don't know if you can see. It's a beautiful color yarn. I love it. And what's great is you can make them all different sizes. Here, this is a tiny one. This is crochet chain, which gives it a lot of texture and a lot of dimension. You know, you could use yarn, just regular yarn, but you don't get the texture. Let's see if you can see it on some of the bigger flowers. Look at how nice, it's really just nice texture. Okay, so we got that. And then the pièce de résistance. These are, I'm making a project and I needed purple, so I made a couple of purples. Alright, let me put this away. Here again, you can see this effect that I did for making the flower leaves. This one, I love this one. I just love the feel. Again, it's hand sewn. Now let me show you what you can do with these. So here is just a few ideas that I came up with these simple little medallions. Here's a small one. This one is hand sewn. And I took those string beads that they come on, those long rolls, and I just tacked them here and there to create another spiral. This, I took some crystal stickums and stuck them to this. This is nice. This eventually could become a nice pin if you add to it, but this, of course, would make a better pin. You just put a pin back on the back. Now this is just regular drawn up lace, and very, very pretty, I think, anyway. And you put beads on it, make tassels. This one's kind of muted, and it's a pretty color. And here's one where I have actually added a backing to it. You can see I cut out a circle. Let me show you on this one. I just cut out a circle of fabric and pinked the edges all the way around, and I'll glue that on or sew it on depending on what it's going to be used for. The durability with sewing is better in some cases than the glue. Like if I'm going to put this on a purse, I'm going to either use both, like suspenders and a belt. That's extra protection, extra caution. So I'll either glue it and stitch it or stitch it down only, so that it doesn't come off like something like a handbag, or if it's a patch on a pair of jeans or something, I'll do a double cautionary glue and stitch. So here are my medallions so far, and my next project will be using some of the medallions, and I'm going to make a tote. I'm happy when I'm making handbags, but happier and happiest when I'm crafting. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and got some fun and entertainment and some ideas as to what to do with some of your scrap yarn. I have a lot more on the back burner, moving to the front burner. Thank you so much again, and stay safe, stay well, stay healthy, and bye for now.